So hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. So in this tutorial video, we are gonna learn about our CSS Flexbox. Okay. So before the Flexbox layout module, there are four layouts mode here, guys. First one is our block. It's used for our section in a web page. Second is inline for text. Third one is our table for two-dimensional table data, and fourth is our position for explicit position of an element. So it's make it easier to design flexible, responsive layout structure without using our float and positioning. Okay. So let's first start with our flexbox elements. To start using the flexbox model, you need to first define a flex container. Okay. So let's start with our code, guys. So I'm gonna write down here our h1 tag as a baby tag. Then let's write down our div class as a. If you want to write here flex container, you can also do that. But I'm not gonna write here our flex container because it's too long for write for the code hour. So I'm gonna write just name as a. Okay. So we are going to create these flex containers here, guys. Okay. Now let's open our div tag as 1. So I'm gonna just copy this one, paste, and give them the different name. One, two, three, four, five. Okay. So I create this our basic first one over. So now let's create our flex container. As you can see, I already told you I create this class as a flex container. So I'm gonna write down in the our style tag. Then I'm gonna write here dot a. If you write flex container, then it's don't mind. You just need to write down like this. But I write down here my class as a for fast write. Okay. Here we need to display as a flex. Okay. We need to define this as a flex. Okay, guys. If you define as a block and inline, then it's not gonna be so. Now let's background color as a let's take it as a yellow or anything. So I take it as a yellow. Now we need to give dot a greater than sign here our div. So I'm right here div curly brackets open and close. Now I'm going to give them here background color as a gray. Let's see how it look like. Go live. So as you can see, this is how our background color gray look like, and this is our yellow color which we use our A class container as a black box container. Now I'm going to give them here as a margin because it's too much not space here. That's why. Now it's space here. Now let's also give them the big size if you want to. So I give them font size as a 35 pixel. Then save. As you can see. Now if you want to add padding here up and down side, you can also do that. Now let's give them padding as a 25 pixel. Sorry. Yeah, save. So as you can see, this is how our basic Flux container works here. Okay, now let's move forward to more advanced level CSS Flex container. So there are properties are like flex direction, flex walk, flex flow, justify content, align items, align content. Okay, so we are gonna start with the first one, flex direction property. It's defined in which direction we need. Okay, so I'm going to write down here in our flex container means dot a. Here I'm going to write here flex direction as a column. Then it's going to be show in the column side. As you can see, let's give them 100% zoom. Yeah, as you can see, it's in column mode right now. Okay, so it's going to top to bottom. Okay, If you want to add line height here, also you can do that in this. So I'm going to add this as a line height as a 50 pixel. Then save. So as you can see, my line height is 50 pixel right now. Now, if you want to give this as a center, okay, you can also do that by doing this text align center, then save. So as you can see, our numbers are in center mode right now. So that is how you can do that. If you want to margin width minimum, you can also do that by adding width. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here is clear. So that is how you can add our flex direction column here. Okay. But if you want this bottom, this number 5 to top and this 1 to bottom, then bottom to top, okay. For that, you need to write down here column reverse. So for that, dash reverse. Then save. As you can see, my number 54321. Okay, so they are going to work here bottom to top, and our column is works top to bottom. But if you want this left to right or right to left, okay, for that we need to write down here row. Let's write it down row. If we want these 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3, 5, 4 in one line. For that we need to write down here row. So let's write down row, then save. So as you can see, it's now left to right. But if you want this number in reverse, then you just need to write down here reverse, then save. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So that is how flex direction property works here, guys. Okay. Now let's move forward to our second point, flex drop property. So it specify whether the flex item should drop or not. Okay. So I'm going to write here dot a here is already. So let's just clear this one. Now I'm going to write here flex drop. Okay. In drop, I'm also going to write drop, then save, as you can see. But if I don't write drop here, then no drop. So as you can see, this no drop value specify that the flash item will not drop. Okay, this is our default. This we use here, no ref is our default. But if I do this, let's take more example of it so we can understand how it works. Let's save them. So as you can see, this is how it look like. But if I don't write here, if I write here no drop, and as you can see, this is our default, and this is our 80 pixel width. That's why. But if I write here drop, then save. So as you can see, this is how it looks like. It's gonna be drop the text here. Okay. So let's just minimize one part here. And save. Yeah, here is clear right now. We can visual it. So that is our drop works here, and our no drop is the default value. Okay, but if you want this reverse number, so its value specified that flexible items will drop if necessary in reverse order. Okay, so let's write down here drop reverse, then save. So as you can see, 512, then 1234, 51234. So that is how it works. Okay, guys. Now let's move forward to our flex flow property. So the flex flow property is a shorthand property for setting both the flex direction and flex drop properties. Okay, which we use here for first and second point. We are going to add this both in the one point. Okay, for that we need to use here flex flow. So let's write down here flex flow. So now I'm going to write here our direction as a row, then our row, then save. So as you can see, this is how is our row look like. But if you want this in column mode, you can do that. So let's give them column, then save. So as you can see, 1 2 3 4 y 1 2 3 4 5 and 1 2. If you also want to do this in reverse mode, you can also do that by adding reverse. So this is how our shorthand property, as you can see, 21543. This is how you can use your shorthand property. If you want not row up, then just write down here no row up. So as you can see, this is how it works, guys. And then let's write down here as a row reverse. Then save. So as you can see, guys, this is our sorry, this is how our row reverse works here, guys. Now let's move forward to our justify content property. So uh, is justify the content property is perfect shape. Okay. So let's minimize the numbers so we can see that properly. So I'm going to minimize. Let's minimize this in the end. So as you can see, let's just clear this one. So I'm going to write here justify content as a center. Then save. So as you can see, let's minimize the number so you can see that properly. So I'm going to clear this one. Then save. So as you can see, this is how our center justify content works here, guys. Okay. Let's just clear this one if you don't understand. So as you can see, is justify these area. As you can see, this is our background color gray which we use. Is justify these, and this is our text align center. Okay, as you can see, if I write here left, then save, then it's going to left or by default. If you want this in a baseline, you can also do that. This is how it looks like in baseline. Let's write down in the center. So as you can see, this is how you can justify your content properly. Okay, guys. Now let's move forward to our flex start. This value aligns the flex items beginning of the container. Okay. So let's write down in our justify content our flex start. Then save. So as you can see, it justify the content of the beginning of the container. This is our beginning. Okay. If I write down end here, okay. So the flex item is at the end of the container. Is going to be show it here. So let's see. Let's write end. So as you can see, it's showing this side. Okay. This is for our flex end. You can also use left, right? But I specifically tell you, you need to use flex start and flex end if you use flex for the code. Okay. Now let's move forward to our space around. So space before, between, and after the lines. Okay. Let's see how it look like so you can easily understand in the output. So I'm write here space around, then save. So as you can see, space before, between, and after the lines. As you can see, this is our lines here. This is our before, guys. This is our between, and this is our after the lines. So that is how it looks. Let's write down here space between. So you can see is showing these only space here center. After the between the lines is shows here one, then lines, two, then lines. Not in the end, which we use space around, then is going to show the space before, between, and after the lines since mean end. Okay. So that is how our space between works here, guys. Now let's move forward to our align items properties. So it's used to align the flags items. Okay, guys. So let's write down here. So I'm going to write down here. Let's just clear this one. Let's write down here as a height, not inherit. Let's write down as a 250 pixel. Then let's align items as a center and save. So as you can see, this is how align items works here in center this board. If I don't write this, cancel, then save, and this is how it looks like. That's why I give the height here if you want this in center mode like this. Align items. Okay. You can also use sorry guys. You can also use flag start. Okay. It was set at the top of the container. So let's write down here flags not end start. Then save. So as you can see, it's set of the top of the container. Okay. If we use already center here. Okay. Now let's use our here end of the top of the container. So let's write down here our end. So it's going to show our bottom of the container as you can see. So that is how it works. You can also use stretch value. Okay. So stretch value stretches the flash items to full, sorry, not full, to fill the container. This is default. Okay. If I write down here stretch, this is our default value, but I'm also going to write here stretch. As you can see, this is our default value look like. If I don't write these align items, okay guys, let's just cut this, then save. Okay, so as you can see, this is our default value. Even if we write here stretch, let's write down here align items as a stretch, then save. So as you can see, it didn't change because stretch value is the default value here guys. Okay, now let's move forward to our baseline. So baseline value aligns the flex items such as their baseline aligns. Okay, so let's just write down here baseline, then save. So as you can see, it shows our top of the container and also is showing the baseline error. Okay, so that is how it works guys. Now let's move forward to our the align content property, which we learn is our align items. Now we are going to learn our align content property. So the align content property is used to align the flex items lines. Okay. Now let's here we need to more example. Okay. So let's add number here and let's just copy this one our previous as you can see. So now I am going to copy this one and paste it here. Let's just clear this last three. Now I'm going to write down here our, let's change it our height as a big one, then 700. So as you can see, this is how it look like. Now I'm going to write it here content, then space between. Okay, now this is the background color display, then save. So as you can see, now let's give them the crop which we learned. Flag swap, as you can see, is didn't we need to scroll this left side. That's why I'm going to write here a flag swap as a crop. Then save. As you can see, this is how it looks like. Now I'm also going to add here our scroll bar here. As you can see, it didn't have scroll bars, so that's why I'm going to scroll. So for that we need to use the overflow as a scroll. Then save. So as you can see, I can scroll that now. Okay, here. Now this is our display, background color, height, content, overflow, flash drop, all are clear. Okay guys. Now this one is also clear. So this is our space between. As you can see, which we use here space between. Then it's going to give the space. If I write here as a 70 pixel, then as you can see, it's going to like this. So let's give them 700. That's why. If you want this in a bigger, let's give them 900. And this is how you can scroll here. As you can see, which we give here our scroll. So that is how it works, guys. And save. That is how it works, guys. Okay. Now let's move forward to our space around. So space around value display the flash lines with the space before, between and after. Here we use here space between, though it shows here this one. But if we use here space around, then it's going to space before, between and after. So let's use our space around, then save. So as you can see, this is our before, between and after. That is how it works. Now let's move forward to our sketch. This is a by default. So let's just copy and cut, then save. This is our default, guys. Okay. Now let's add here our sketch, then save. As you can see, it look like the same because this is our default value. It take up the remaining space here, as you can see. Now let's move forward to our center. If you want this in the center, then save. So as you can see, our content in center mode right now. That is how it works. If you want to use this start of the container, okay, for that you need to write down here flag start, then save. As you can see, start top of the container, start of the sorry guys. If you want this in the bottom, so you just need to write down end. So as you can see, this is our flag sign works here, guys. So this is our at this end of the container works here our flag sign. So let's just copy this one. It might be helpful in the new example in previous future. So let's I'm going to paste it here. Now we are going to learn our perfect centering. Okay. In this example, we will solve a very common style problem here, guys. Okay. So let's use our both justify content and align items properties to center. So I'm going to write down a new one. So let's write down our new one. Let's just clear this. Let's write this one. I'm going to create the square here. So for that, let's write down our display as a flex. Now let's add our justify content as a center, our align items as a center. Let's give them height as a 350 pixel, then width as a 350 pixel. It's going to create a square bracket. Okay. Now let's give them the background color as a yellow. Then save. As you can see, this is how our box look like, our square. Now let's add here dot capital A greater than div. Curly brackets open and close. Let's give them the background color as a gray. Then save. It's not visible right now. Let's give them the color as a red. Then save. Now let's add our width here, guys. Width has a 120 pixel, and let's give them the height as a 120 pixel. So as you can see, this is our background color gray works here. This is our height and width. If I use here 150 height and pixel, so as you can see, if you give them the space here, then it doesn't mind. As you can see, if you want to give this as a red, then save. As you can see, this color shows your content for whichever content you write it. So if you write it here like save, let's give them the black color, then save. As you can see, whichever content you write it in the our box or div is going to show in black color. That is why use here black. Okay, that is how our perfect centering works here, guys. Okay, if you have any query, write down in the comment section. Now let's move forward to our CSS flags items. Okay, so the flags items properties are: first one is our order, second is our flags pro, flags shrink, flags basis, flags align self. Okay, so let's start with our order. Okay, so for that we need to use our new one. So let's write down here. So I'm gonna copy this one or four and paste it here. Okay, guys. Now I'm going to write down here style as a order, which first one is order. So I give this as a number 2 and number 3, number 1 and number 2. Let's give them as a number 4. Why? Because is order style we are going to use here. So the order value must be a number. Okay, which I use here. As you can see, order must be a number and our default value is 0 here. Okay, so that's why I write here 1 2 3 4. Why? Is because first one is going to show our 3 number. Okay, this is how it works. Now let's give them change as a, let's just write down here. Let's clear this one and over this one. Now let's give them the background color. Let's change this as a gray. Then here if you want yellow, you can do that. Now let's give them the height and width as a minimum 80 pixel. We don't need that in this example height. Now let's give them the margin as a 150 pixel, 115 as a 150 is too high. Let's give them the text align as a center. Then say let's see how it looks like. As you can see, this is how it looks like. Let's give the line height. Line height as a 50 pixel. Then save. as you can see. Now if you want to add our font size bigger, and let's add our font size as a 30 pixel, then save. So as you can see 3421, because we give here less, because we give here order 1 as a 3, or order 2 as a number 4, and order 3 as a number 2, and order 4 as a 1. It's going to show up like this. Our default value is 0 here, guys. Okay, if I don't write this, then save. Let's just save. As you can see 3 is showing first here because this is our default. But if I clear this one, let's just clear this one, then save. As you can see 4 is coming here first, then our third is going to take our 1, then 2, our 2 as a 3 because we didn't write our 2 number here. So that is how it works, guys. Our default value is 0 here. Okay. So you must need to specify the number here. So now let's move forward to our flex grow property. So it was specifies how much a flex item will grow relative to the rest of the flex items. Okay. So I'm going to write down here in our style attributes. So let's just second. Sorry, guys. Yeah, alter click. Let's just clear this one if you want to. So I'm going to clear this one and write here our flex grow and save. Now as you can see our grow here. So let's see the difference between this one. So I'm going to write this one. As you can see the grow is decreasing. If I write here as a 4, then as you can see it's increase more. If I write here 10 in our third, then its size is increase here, and less here than 12. So as you can see, this is how our flex row works here, guys. Okay. Now let's move forward to our flex shrink property. So flex shrink property, it was to specify how much a flex item will shrink relative to the rest of the flex items. Okay. So now let's move forward to our. So let's just clear this one firstly and save. Let's copy this one. Okay. Now let's copy this one and paste. Then save. This is how it look like. Okay. Now I'm going to swing this property here. Okay. So let's give them one more. So I'm going these two as an example. Let's give them as a name 9 or whatever. So you can understand. So I'm going to write down here our style flex shrink. Okay. Now I'm going to write down these as a 1. Then save. As you can see, this is a default one. If I write down here 5, then it's more decreasing here. Let's zoom it. As you can see, this one and this one size. Okay. If I write down here 10 and 1. Okay. This is how it looks like. Okay. Let's firstly write down here. Let's just write down our style as a flex grow. Let's use it as a one. Let's just copy this one, paste, paste, paste. Okay. Now I am going this as a 4, this one as a 10, this one as a 12. So I am rightly clear this one. Okay. Then save. This is our flex row works here, guys. Let's just write down here 35 pixel. It's removed. I don't know how it's removed. So as you can see, this is how our flex row works here. If I give them as a 4 and this one as a 8. So as you can see, this is our flex row 8, 10 and works here, guys, or this one. But if I write down here as a style flex shrink as a 1, then save. So as you can see, if I write here 5, then it's decreasing the size minimum. As you can see, sorry, here, it's minimize the size here. Here you can see the space and here. So that is the difference between flex string property. Okay, that's why I write here a flex row, so you can understand. Okay, so let's see our 100%. Yeah. So that is our flex string property works here, guys. Okay. Now let's move forward to our flex basis property. So it was specify the initial length of a flex item. Okay. So let's write down here our basis as a, let's write down as a 350 pixel. Then save. As you can see, our how basis works here. So let's just clear this one. Let's write down basis. I'm going this as a 100 pixel and this one as a 80 pixel, 120 pixel, then save. So as you can see, this is our 100, 80, 120 and this is our 350. And this is our normal ones by default. So that is our flex basis property works here, guys. Okay. Now let's move forward to our the flex property. So it specify the shorthand property for the flex row, flex string, and flex basis property which we use. So for that we need to write down here. So let's just clear this one. Let's use mouse click and alt. Then save. Okay, now we are going to use our flex style, our property shorthand properties, take all these content in one. For that, let's write down here style as a flex, not direction. Now let's write down here 0 0 150 pixel our basis, and we are going this take as a shrink as a 0 and also grow as a 0. So as you can see, this is our 1 2 3 150. If I write down here as a 10, so as you can see, even if we write going here 100, then it's not gonna be here because we give the string as a here as a 0. But if I write down 10, then as you can see our string value works here. So that is how our flex property works here. This is our shorthand property. This takes all three properties in one. Okay. Now let's move forward to our the align self property. Okay, so it was specifies the alignment for this selected items inside the flexible container. Okay, it was specified override the default alignment set by the container's align items properties. So let's just create this one. So I'm going to clear this one. Yeah, then save. Now let's add our hide here as a not inherit. Let's take it as a 350 pixel. Now let's move forward to our div style. We are going to use our align self here. Okay. Now let's move forward to our align self property. So I'm going to write here align self property as a center. Then save. So as you can see, let's minimize this, cut and paste. So as you can see, this is how align self works here. Let's just clear this one. This is our center align self works here, guys. If you write this as a 4 as a set, then let's just copy. Let's give them as a 4 as a align self as a center. So as you can see. So let's align the flash top and bottom of the container. Okay. So now let's take these three as a copy and paste and paste. Then save. As you can see, this is a 4 as a center. Now let's move forward to our flex top and flex bottom of the container. So for that we need to write down here. Let's write down here style as a line self flex start. Then save. As you can see, my third one is our in top right now. If you want this one as a bottom, then just write down your style align self as a flex and then save. As you can see, this is our first and this is our third. So this is how it works, guys. If you don't write these as a center, okay. So let's just clear this one so you can basically understand the difference. Like this one, then save. As you can see, this is our fourth one as a. Let's just clear this one so you can easily understand how it works. Now let's just clear, then save. So as you can see, this is for our center. Third is our top. First one is our bottom. So this is how it works, guys. If I give clear this space here, then save. This is how is our done here, guys. Our align cell properties. Our center is 4. First is our top, and our 1 is our bottom. Okay. Now let's move forward to our CSS Flex responsive. Okay. So the responsive Flexbox, we are going to create a new example. Okay. So we are going to take as an example of laptop and mobile based screen. Okay. So let's just clear this one. Let's write down our new. So I am going to clear this one. Then this is our dot a greater than sign. If you want to write, let's write down a new one so you can be easily understand. Let's also clear this one so we can write a new one. We need to always write a flag display flags. That's why remaining that one. Okay. Now let's add our. This is our div class A. Now let's create a new class as a B. Close. Now let's create one more class as a D as a second number. Then this is your div and body. This is your basic clear here, guys. Now let's move forward to our flex direction. Let's give them as a flex direction as a flow, not flow, sorry, row. Then save. Now let's give them the size is big one. Font size. Let's take it as a 35 pixel. Then let's give them the text align as a center. Then save. So as you can see, this is our 1, 2. If you want to add the box shadow here, you can also do that. So let's add curly brackets open and close. Box sizing as a border box. Then save. This is how our border box works here, guys, as you can see. Now let's move forward to our B class, which we use. So let's write down here dot B, curly brackets open and close. Let's write down here our background color as a gray. Then save. As you can see, this is a gray color right now in one. Now let's give them the padding as a 15 pixel or whichever you want. So I give them 50 pixel. Let's give them flash only, not direction. Let's give them in percentage if you want to. 40 percentage pixel. Okay, if you don't write this as a pixel, then it's not going to going to look like this. That's why I write here as a pixel. Then save. So this is how it look like. Okay. Now I'm going this first. This is our first as a B class. I'm going this uh, as a 40 pixel. Okay, and now this is our second. I'm going to give this as a 60 pixel, so it can give the 100% output. So let's write down here D and just change it here 60. Now let's just change the color so you can understand. I give them light blue. So as you can see, this is how it look like. 1 and 2. Okay. Now let's just minimize 100%. This is how 100% look like. Now we are going to add our media here. Okay. For our smartphone screen and our laptop screen. Okay. So let's write down our @media screen, @media, and then maximum width as a 700 pixel I take. Then curly brackets open and close. Now I'm going to give this dot A, curly brackets open and close, and give them the flex direction as a column. Then save. Okay. This is clear here, guys. Okay, this is a base. So let's clear this one. As you can see, when as you can see, it's showing column here. When we move our 700 over, then this is how it look like. But when I minimize the smartphone screen, then it's showing in the column. If you want this as a row, you can also do that. Then let's save. For that, I need to write down here column. Then save. This is our row look like. Firstly, this is our first we use, as you can see, which we use first as a column here. Okay. Now in direction, when we give the 700 over maximum width, then it's going to show in our row model. So that is how it works, guys. Okay. Now if you want to add a responsive layer Flexbox more, so you can also do that by adding the 100%. Here we only use our class A. Okay. If you want to use more class, you can also do that. So let's give them as a flex swap. So I'm going to write here flex swap as a prop. Then save. As you can see, this is how prop look like. It's going to same because prop is going to drop the text here. That's why. Now we are going to add our B and D class. This is our A class works here. So I'm going to add our B and D class. So dot D. Now I'm going to give this as a flex as a 100%. And this is our clear here, guys. This is our maximum width 700 pixel, okay? And this is our dot B, dot D, and this is our flex 100% which I use. Now then save. As you can see, this is how it looks like in column. But when I move my mouse over here, it's going to drop the text. Then when I move this is how it looks like. If you want to add more here, let's give them as a div 2 3 number. Then copy, paste. This is how it looks like. But when I give this one, then it's going to drop the text. Okay. So this is our mobile screen and our laptop screen works here, guys. This is how in laptop screen look like. But when you move to the smartphones, okay, then it's going to show in column mode. This is our 40% and 60% which we use. If you want to use these as a 30%, then this one as a 70. So you can take 100%. So that is how it look like. It's going to show it here. Let's zoom it. This is our 30 percentage look like, and this is our 70%. When we clear this one, as you can see, this is how it look like. Okay. So if you have any query, write down in the comment section. Okay. As you can see, this is our 70 and 30 pixel how it look like. Okay. So if you have any query, write down in the comment section. Okay. And also write down your email ID in the comment section for the source code. And also don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye.